We are no longer physicians. We're providers.
Ask your baby's permission.
Gay people, you have become a product. Should auto insurance cover STD? Are you freaking kidding me? So you demean us. You don't get a parade for a sexual preference. To not hurt the feelings of somebody with a fraction of my training. That a beaver's ass presented this to the world. It's a natural flavor. But you are literally an ice cube in a martini shaker. Oh. When I die, I want to be an ice cube in a martini shaker. I love that line.
I'm sure that's
so much.
Going to be your heaven.
It is so awesome. But then it reminds me of Strange Brew when they're stuck, when Bob McKenzie is stuck in the gigantic vat of beer. And he's like, you know, me and Doug thought it'd be really awesome to drown in beer, and it sucks.
Oh, brother, that was really profound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he said, Doug's dead, and I'm here with two soakers, and this really sucks.
Huh.
But Doug was not dead. Because I have watched that movie, I think, 14 times.
Wonderful. I think the most I've watched a movie, I can't remember, but it would be the equivalent of that was Uncle Buck.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Both movies literally shrink, like they eat brain cells faster than in Cocktails.
Uh-huh.
It's like they shrink your brain, neurons just fleeing.
It's good to laugh, though.
Yeah, it
That's
is
the
good.
thing about those. It's laughter.
Well,
and that's why we're here tonight, to bring you some laughter, some nonsense, some lightness, I hope. And I'm here to keep them reeled in. How much ranting do you got for us tonight?
Well, you know, tonight's more observational than it is ranty, because the topic is really, we went to Daytona Bike Week, so May has never been to a bike rally. So we drove the truck
for
there.
good reason, as we will get to.
Her response was very gracious, but exactly what I assumed, which is it's really crowded and it's really loud.
And can I just say it's also really loud?
It's really loud.
And it's not just loud because it's loud people and loud bikes. It's the, what would you say, concert sounding music being pimped out of every single person's bike with these, I don't know, kind of speakers that everybody's got going now. And
no, it's absolutely unbelievable.
And it's
the stereos,
like EDM, tech, hip hop /
I don't know. There was a lot of classic rock. Out of most of the Harleys was classic rock, but then
the Harleys. No, I'm talking. What stuck in my head was the 3-wheelers with the
like the
rap / EDM.
Yeah, the slingshots.
Rock.
So they build these Polaris slingshots,
so loud. Holy
and they have speakers that are not in the vehicle; they're on the outside of the vehicle. So when they're driving, they can absolutely piss you off with their. I mean, it was.
I think when they're at.
I mean, it was crazy. Like, I don't mind loud pipes and whatever, but this was so unbelievably obnoxious. These people are driving by with 110 decibels of God knows what music, and the speakers are legitimately blasting out of the vehicle. They're on the outside facing out.
There goes the problem. If they were facing in,
no, they're facing out. It's not even to entertain themselves. It's to just irritate everyone else with, like, it doesn't matter. It could be the greatest music in the world. And at those volumes, completely distorted, it's just absolutely horrible. And it was, I mean, I'm laughing.
And they're like, 3 feet, if that, apart.
Right.
With their own
tunes
on.
I told May, I said, these guys would drive by and I would like, tell me you're an asshole without telling me you're an asshole. I mean, that was the theme of every one of those little cars. And then not only that,
not just the cars.
It's not a motorcycle. It's a
you have a
it's elliptic tricycle for elliptics that don't want to drive. Like, look, at least the Can-Am three-wheelers with the two wheels in the front. You have to ride it like a motorcycle. You have to actually take the hits in the face of the wind and the, whatever. But the three-wheel cars, it's a three-wheeled car at a bike rally. Like, literally. Tell me you're Olympic without telling me you're Olympic.
It looked like a little go-kart, honestly.
Yeah, right. It's not a go-kart rally. It's a biker rally, and you brought a fucking go-kart. I'm sorry. It's not a go-kart rally. Sturgis, South Dakota. Okay? They say Daytona is the biggest biker rally in the world, which I don't know how whatever. Okay? Sturgis is the most famous by far. Sturgis has tons of events because they understood that once they got the bikers there, they're like, holy crap, people like hanging out here because it's very nice to be in the Black Hills of South Dakota in the middle of summer because there's lots of great roads to, ride or drive on, blah, 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 right? The weather's usually good. Sturgis has a Cushman rally. They have a Cushman rally.
What's that?
What is a Cushman? A Cushman is the little three-wheeled piece of dog shit cart that the guys that wrote parking tickets used. That is a Cushman. And apparently there are so many people into vintage rebuilt Cushmans that they can have their own freaking rally.
Well, good for them.
I think that's fantastic. Take your three-wheeled go-kart cars to the Cushman rally.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't need to be part of. You are not a motorcycle. You're not a three-wheeled motorcycle. You're a three-wheeled car. Three-wheeled cars. Trump should write.
Pretty soon they'll have recumbent bikes going there. No motors,
right?
Just recumbent bicycles.
like exactly. It would be like the Tour de France with a recumbent bike section to the Tour de France, which would be completely insane. We have a neighbor that rides one. The guy is, I have no idea. He's got to be in his 80s, and he's probably riding a recumbent bike because he's ridden bicycles for, since Queen Elizabeth was born. Good for him. But it literally has the gigantic, it should have a giant sign on it that says, please run over me. Because it's so dangerous. Like, you cannot see this guy, and he's got some goofy flag on the back, and he rides it out on the, I'm terrified of the bike lane because I've been run over once.
Hey, different strokes for different folks.
I get that.
Anyway,
I won't be sending you flowers
back
if
to the
you
rally.
get run.
It was loud.
It was loud,
but it was interesting.
Very interesting.
And I did like watching the races. And I think I was one of two people. It was like a Where's Waldo. One of two people wearing white jeans.
Yeah, that was
black. Everybody's wearing 90% of people in denim. The other 99.9%, other 9.9% in black.
So
me in white.
The thing that struck me, I
kept clean though.
I can see stuff, but I can't see stuff.
Anyway.
I see close. I can't. It's just ridiculous. Anyways,
nothing to see.
The thing that struck me the most,
just your face.
Yeah, the thing that struck me the most was we had been listening to a couple different podcasts on the way over to Daytona, because the problem with where we live and going to Daytona means that we have to. You don't have to. But we drive on the I-4, which is legitimately, it is the highway to hell.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely always
plugged. You have to go through Disney.
It's awful. You have to drive past all the Disney exits. Then you have to drive through Orlando, which actually is not that bad, believe it or not. And then you get on the other side of Orlando and it's fine, and you're an hour or so away. So we're listening to these podcasts, and we're listening to Dave Asprey and so forth, and they're talking about biohacking and longevity and what peptides you can inject to increase your growth hormone, and how many hours a night down to the second you need to live longer, and all of this. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of nuts.
I missed that one.
Because it's not really verifiable, right? Like, you can't, but whatever. I mean, Dave feels better. He lost 100 pounds. He built a giant business on biohacking. Like, good for him. It's all good. Then we show up at said bike rally. And I said to May, okay, so first day, we're going down Main Street where they have all the biker bars. And it's literally called Main Street. And you walk from the beach in Daytona, which is actually very, very nice. And, past the bars and all the bikes parked and whatnot. And I looked at her and I said, this is like an anti-longevity conference.
Oh, it is.
It's like legitimately an anti-longevity. It's like a shortgevity conference, not a longevity conference. It's the shortgevity conference. There's like guys with giant beer bellies, like morbidly obese, smoking cigarettes, and then riding motorcycles without a helmet. It's like
they're pretty weathered. They're pretty weathered.
Yes, everything you could do.
And leathered.
Yes. The only thing that they do, according to our biohacking experts, is they get lots of sunshine.
Oh, they sure do.
Lots of sunshine. But, they're smoking. They're all inflamed with their
deep fried foods and there's toxic substances. And I don't know. Do you inhale a lot of fumes riding a motorcycle?
You get really hot. That's for sure. You get really hot riding.
It's kind of a sedentary activity.
Sedentary? What the hell country are you from? Sedentary.
Isn't that a British way to pronounce?
Yeah, there is.
No, I grew up saying sedentary.
Yeah, you're not British though. You pretend you are.
Are we going to
aluminium? Aluminium.
Do this again?
Seriously, when you say aluminium, all you're telling me is you're a dick.
Are we going to do the roof versus roof or the?
Yeah. Oh, roof.
Oh, what was the other one we got?
No, the one that is the one that the and some of my best friends actually say this, but it's legitimately like, tell me you're dumb without telling me you're dumb is wash for wash.
No, it was iron.
Yeah, but that actually makes sense. Mm-hmm. Iron versus iron. That one you can actually phonetically kind of make sense of. Crick from creek is, I'm sorry, you're retarded. And I say that word with actual pride. What's the other one? Wash, though, from what? Like Washington. George Washington. Who the hell is that?
And we can't
That's not a person.
About the word axe. You're going to ask a question?
Yeah.
That's also a mispronunciation.
Yeah, it is.
It's ask, A-S-K, not axe. I'm just covering all the bases.
Yeah,
if you're going to pick on wash, you got to say
But again,
axe.
I get all self-righteous and judgy about this. And then you actually look at how we pronounce a lot of words where like every other letter in English is silent, and I just give up. It's like, pronounce it however the hell you want. And as long as we can communicate as two humans, I don't care anymore, because none of it makes any, because English is completely stupid and makes no sense.
Well, I'm glad we got to digress to this point.
But it's
the
true.
Discussion.
It's stupid.
Oh.
But again,
the
anti-longevity conference.
Back to the Harleys.
The anti-longevity conference. So I'm sitting there thinking, this is really interesting. So the issue is this: you're given one life and you have to live it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you have massive dichotomies of how people live, right? Like you have Brian Johnson, not the cool Brian Johnson that's in AC/DC, the I want to never die Brian Johnson, who's kind of a weirdo and super pale and tracks every second of his sleep for, whatever. And spends, I think, over $1 million a year on all of his longevity hacks. And you go, okay, that's a lot of work to not die. And then you have this cadre of people that clearly don't think at all about that.
No, they're having fun. They're living their best life.
But that's exactly the point, is who's living better, okay? Again, I get it. It's a moral judgment. But who's living better? The guy that just doesn't want to die, or the guy that's like, F it. I'm going to ride a motorcycle with no helmet. I'm going to smoke cigarettes. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to get, chlamydia every other month. I just added that for spice. And
you got to put yourself in that mix because you're a motorcycle riding.
I get it, but
dude that doesn't wear
it's a pretty wide swath of humanity. You have the bikers for Satan on one end and the bikers for Jesus on the other. They're technically both bikers, but they have vastly different philosophies. Sure do. So that's the part that gets me, is like there has to, like, and I don't even know if there has to be a balance point, but who's living better? And part of me says, you know what? The guy that says I'm going to die anyways, and I'm just going to freaking live my life, and I'm going to eat Cheetos, and I'm going to drink tons of beer, and I'm going to ride a bike without a helmet, and I'm going to,
as long as you don't have to pay for his skull.
No, but that's exactly but that's exactly it. You nailed it. You nailed
CPAP, BiPAP,
you nailed
intubation,
exactly.
Lung cancer therapy /
You nailed it. If I don't have to pay for somebody else's crappy decisions, or I don't have to pay for Brian Johnson's unbelievably expensive biohacks, I'm perfectly happy. And that's the entire point. That's the entire point.
Well, are we going to get to the dichotomy of the weekend?
Yes, we will.
Pendulum shifted.
I have it. I have
Sunday.
I have the pendulum shift, which is spectacular, and it kind of proves the point of you have one coin with two sides. But here. But let's get to this picture because I love this picture. So one of the Harley booths, actually at the Daytona Speedway, they had the new kind of racy version of the Street Glide, which is similar to the bikes that they race. They race baggers. They ride baggers. In other words, large Harleys and Indians with gigantic bags on the back. They have to have the bags on the bike at over 150 miles an hour on the Daytona Speedway. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So they kind of built a knockoff version of this for production. And the bike is from the factory. If you can get one, there's only 131 being made. It's 110 grand. And so they put one in one of the displays and had like this fake burnout pit. And so there's me in the fake burnout pit doing a fake burnout and looking amazing.
So biker.
Exactly.
With your shorts on.
With my shorts on. You got to wear shorts. You're in Daytona. It's hot as hell.
It was not. Let's clarify. It was very cold. It went down to
60.
No, at night.
Practically froze my eyelids shut, like when I was at the University of Saskatchewan, and I would walk from one building to the other, and my eyelids would legitimately.
I was not in
together.
shorts. It was cold. Anyway.
So that was
that was wonderful. And we got to see one of the offspring that joined us, and
yes.
It was great fun.
Well, and then the racing. Okay. The racing there, which is really sets this apart from other bike rallies.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's racing at Sturgis and whatnot, but this is crazy because they have access. Because they have access to the Daytona Motor Speedway, so they do MotoGP on one day, and they do Supercross the weekend before, and then they had American Flat Track, which is so completely insane. I watched this for 2.5 hours, unbelievably entertaining. And I needed a Xanax. I was having so much anxiety because they ride so hard and so out of control. You watch some sports, like a guy that's really, really good at competitive water skiing, and they make the really difficult look easy. These guys make the impossible look almost impossible because what they're doing is, and then they come past you and they spray the entire crowd with dirt. Like chunks of rock were flying at us. You had to close your eyes to not, go to the ER. And I'm like, this is so unbelievably real. They're using the vertical wall as a berm because they couldn't turn sharp enough. So they would have to like kick these bikes off at a I don't know how fast off the wall. And I was like, I don't know how they could sit on the bikes because their balls were so gigantic. They would get like, they must have had like cutouts in the seat so that their balls could fit in the bike, like legitimately. That's exactly how I was feeling.
I must agree with that.
Like you loved it. Like you're not into this kind of stuff. And you were like, holy crap, that is unbelievable.
Yeah. It was amazing for sure. Yeah. Anyway.
So then on the way back, we're going to do the dichotomy of the weekend, which was pretty crazy. So anyways, back to just one more 5-minute segment on the philosophy. Like I've wanted to, maybe I'll still write a Substack or do a show on in defense of smokers and alcoholics, because there's something about free will and just living the way you want to live that may not be, you may be making very bad decisions, and I understand that, but there's something about the honesty in that I find very noble. Because like the biohack, honestly, the biohackers and the longevity people drive me completely crazy, because they're making a ton of money off of espousing things that are essentially unknowable. Like you don't know if you take X, Y, and Z supplement now that you'll live longer. It's entirely unprovable.
No, are they all saying that it's making you live longer? Are they
Well,
talking about it improving your health and making your quality of life now better, decreasing, I don't know, inflation and preventing
there's that.
I wouldn't say they're all just saying you take this, you'll live longer. You'll take.
Well, no, there's a lot of that, May. You have not dived down that
not.
rabbit hole like I have, and they're making a lot of claims about things that may be true. They may be true, but they're absolutely unverifiable. So I'm all about performance enhancing substances. That's my thing. If you can take a vitamin or a supplement or do a certain workout or sleep a certain amount of time and your performance enhances, you can prove that. So, and I'm way more about performance than I am longevity, because as most of my friends that are honest clinicians say, you know, you meet these people, I'm going to live to 100 and whatever. I'm like, have you met a guy that's 105? I have. They're not happy. They want to be dead. They wanted to be dead 15 years earlier.
Well,
almost 100% of them.
But not everybody wants performance-enhancing substances because their hobbies are different than yours.
Yeah, but I would disagree. Like if you could tell somebody, like I'm not talking about injecting, hormones or peptides either. But I'm
not
just saying,
everybody's flying around on a kiteboard or
granted,
doing things that are intense, rapid.
Right, but if you could tell a guy that was super into painting, right? Like he's super into paint. Like this guy has traveled the world looking for landscapes to paint. And now he's kind of arthritic and it hurts to carry his gear and his hands are kind of jacked up and his mind is not quite as sharp. And you told him, you could take this complement of supplements and you could paint with the same clarity that you could 30 years earlier. They would 100% do it because that's what they were made to do. They were made to, paint pictures.
I guess
they're made, writers.
Different definition of performance enhancement.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, and maybe that's what we'll do eventually when we come up with our bullshit vitamins, which is you focus on performance. Like again, like anyone that believes the longevity stuff, it's like, dude, they're lying because they don't know. They're taking tiny shreds of data and extrapolating it into something that doesn't exist. Like, I mean, seriously, it doesn't exist. And
all right,
I'm done. Like that one just makes me crazy. So who's got a better life? Brian Johnson, or the guy that just had a great time riding his motorcycle, smoking God knows how many Pall Malls.
I don't think you can answer that.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question, because I don't know the answer. So, on the way back, I communicated with our friends that live in Bay Hill, very good friends of ours. And we ended up going from biker land to this, which is the 17th hole of Bay Hill for the, I can't even say it, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, because Bay Hill is Arnie's, one of his golf courses that he built in Orlando and lived there. And we were like,
you didn't have a proper even attire to wear.
I had no collared shirt because I was going to a biker rally, and I didn't know that I was ending up at a PGA tournament where literally they have scores of staff holding their arms up, making you be quiet.
Imagine that.
So
I was in heaven.
Yes.
I was like, shush, Tim. The hands are up. Shush. They're shushing you.
You know what? I should. That is a great point.
That.
I should buy you those little paddles they have that say quiet. Like, that would be the greatest anniversary present for you, which is coming up in a couple months. I'll get you those paddles that say quiet that they use at golf courses. And then when I'm like ranting about it, you can just like hold them up. And I'm like, bitch, you're not putting. You can't hold up the signs.
Well, maybe we could turn golf on television and I could just go.
Quiet.
What a novel idea. I love it. Is that like the talking stick at the marriage conference?
Don't even go down that road.
So it was quite the 180 pendulum swing, wasn't it? To the proper, quiet, calm greens.
Quiet.
Golfing.
But I want to know. This
great.
Is what I want to know.
So great.
I want to know.
We didn't eat corn dogs and what other crap did we eat at the biker rally?
No, we were invited into the exclusive tent.
We got the salmon and chicken.
Chicken Marseille.
And yes.
Yes. Next time I go to Daytona, I'm going to go, where the hell is the chicken Marseille?
It was so spectacular.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks, Tom and Elizabeth.
Yes. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the bike races. I enjoyed all of it because life is made up of nuance and, you know.
I felt kind of like a chameleon.
Yes, I love it.
To change my
I
skin.
had to go to the pro shop to buy a collared shirt to be admitted into the clubhouse to get a drink.
Well, technically you had a collared shirt, but it was a biker Harley Davidson work shirt, collared shirt.
Yeah, I don't think that counts.
No, I don't think so either.
Because what drink did we get? What is the name of the frozen drink?
Isn't it called a Hummer?
It's called a Hummer.
Mm-hmm. It's like a chocolate milkshake.
That makes you not hate people because it has...
Or a Bailey's chocolate milkshake.
God knows how much alcohol. I don't know what they put in that thing.
It's like a Bailey's chocolate milkshake.
Pretty awesome.
Very delicious. Anyway, that was fun.
I think I don't have anything else. We were just talking. I really wanted to get into this whole...
You don't have anything else.
We have...
Imagine that.
Yeah. I really wanted to get into this whole business of, you know, living your best life because that whole thing gets me. Because the people that say that crap assume there's an answer, and I have no idea what the answer is. I guess if you look at the...
Do you think it's contentment?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if you, like, biblically, from a Christian perspective, godliness plus contentment is great gain. Paul would think that contentment is really it. The problem is we live in a society where they weaponize discontent. And I wrote this in one of our last Substacks. The weaponization of discontent and basically taking the 10th commandment, which is thou shalt not covet, and turning it into an economic engine. So we have weaponized it. We have made people so like you're one purchase away, you're one thing away from contentment. And I think your best life is a contented life, you know, which means you don't need a whole bunch of stuff, but you need something. You need relationships that are very stable and incredibly life-giving. And you need a decent place to live, and you need some avocations that you enjoy, and hopefully a job that doesn't destroy you. That's it. That's all you get. There's really nothing else. And this idea that there's one more purchase or one more whatever, I don't believe it.
No, I totally agree. And just thinking back on where I've been with the last couple of years that we've been here with my health and things going on that I haven't shared a whole lot lately, but just finding your purpose, finding an outlet, finding something that lets you be creative or free or where you can lose yourself in is really, I don't know, really important. But all those things.
I think that's it, though. I think if you find an activity that you can forget about you have won. Like whether that's, the stuff I've done, windsurfing, skydiving, etc., whether it's writing, whether it's playing the piano, it doesn't matter.
And the big lesson I've learned is those change as life changes. And I mean, people kind of know that innately, but sometimes life hits you with the baseball bat, and the things that you used to be able to do, you can no longer do for usually it's physical reasons. So having, a little bit of diversity is really important. Oh, you're stepping away, are you? Okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to just carry it solo while Tim takes an important call elsewhere. So, I think what I've been, I'll just share a little bit more what I've been going through the last couple of years is kind of came out of the blue and gradually has taken me down physically with some struggles that obviously when you're going through physical struggles gets to be tiresome mentally and challenging spiritually. And some of the things that I really, really enjoyed doing, I can no longer do basic type of stuff. And as the fact that we've moved from Oregon to Florida, some of those Oregon hobbies are no longer accessible. So I have to find new ones. And that's been challenging because of some of the physical struggles and health issues I've been going through. So having a diverse pile of hobbies, a diverse packet of skills is great. And, as a friend of mine said, like when you're 80 years old, you can't be doing the things that you thought you'd do when you're 20. I mean, I guess you could still be walking, still be maybe skiing downhill cautiously. There's just some things you can still be doing, but it changes. But a lot of things you can't continue to do for various reasons, not just physical health issues, but just logistics and all kinds of stuff. And our hobbies and interests change. So it really is important, I'm finding, to find an outlet for yourself to keep you sane. And I'm struggling with that right now, just to be honest.
Well, and the other thing I think that's very interesting is the human passion for art and creativity. And that came out in the bike rally because like these people build these machines and it's just crazy the amount of money and detail. And I mean, they're literally rolling pieces of art. That's what it's just
no, that won't be my hobby.
No, but the bike shows are art shows.
Oh,
that's what they are.
They're
right.
art
shows,
yes,
right?
I appreciate that.
And I completely think that humans need art. And everybody has an art side that they need to express. Like whether it's singing or writing or playing an instrument or like take your pick. There's building cars is art. Like there's tons of it. And, I can't remember who I was talking to about this. And I said, I think one of the most godlike things you can do is create because God spoke the universe into existence. He spoke it and it became something. And then you think you have an idea and then it germinates and then you paint a picture or you write an article or you you create something just from essentially nothing, which is exactly what God did. And I think that's why humans are so drawn to art is because it's such a deep connection to, the greater, godliness universe out there. And it's fascinating. Like, you see these guys, they're supposed to be badasses. They got chains and all these different things. And it's like, see the art I made? See the finger painting? See that? Okay. And it's not a finger painting. It's a motorcycle. It's the same damn thing as the finger painting he brought home when he was 5 years old and his dad thought it was cool or not. I mean, that
got
part.
Me thinking. I guess I could sit in the kitchen and do some macaroni art.
You could.
With some LePage's glue.
You could.
I don't know.
I would use contact cement. At least you get the high of smelling it compared to LePage. No, it is
I don't know,
interesting.
maybe people should write to us, shoot me some ideas of things I can do. I used to love gardening, but man, gardening here in our yard in Florida is not really fun.
No, gardening in Florida would be like if it was 70 degrees outside and sunny, which would be a pleasant day almost anywhere. And I'm going to garden in a 4mm wetsuit with a fire hazard asbestos suit on and blow dryers blowing into it. That's what gardening here would be like.
I'm not really into it here. It's just not really.
Like, I'm gonna
really pleasant.
I'm gonna go plant the radishes in the flames of hell. No, you're not.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game.
Ever wonder how the cows survive when it's 95 and
I know
80% humidity? I mean, you want to talk about Salt Lick? Like, holy smokes! Today, like this winter and spring has been really pretty cool here. I mean, it was 55 degrees this morning. I mean, it was almost an apocalypse. And I'm sure the cows are really happy. But there's a lot of cows in Florida. And they don't sweat very much the last time I checked. So
I haven't checked. I haven't gotten that close.
No, like, I mean, when your only means of cooling yourself is peeing, I don't think that's very efficient.
Yeah, I never thought of that, but
no, but dogs pant.
They do pee a lot. They do.
Yes,
cows.
But dogs pant, and panting is unbelievably efficient because they have a massive trachea compared by body weight compared to humans, and then they're inhaling and exhaling air over this massive radiator, which is their lungs. So actually, panting is probably far more efficient heat exchanger than sweating.
So you're telling me that I need to take up gardening and just start panting and peeing in the yard?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have read my mind.
There you go.
You have completely read my mind.
Solve all the problems with gardening.
And you need a salt lick.
And if I was...
And a salt lick.
Okay, and a salt lick.
And a salt lick. So you go outside and garden.
So
you
I
take
can get
a couple
diarrhea after I've ingested all the salt.
You take a couple hits on the salt lick, and then you garden away and drink tons of water and pee all over the place and pant.
Wow, my gosh. Last year I was out there doing spreading some fertilizer and doing some crap, and it was noon and it was bloody hot. And I think the people driving by are like, who is that freak lady outside gardening in Florida when it's hot and humid? No. She's stupid. No. Anyway.
Completely ridiculous.
So send us some messages, emails, shout outs, what you think would be a good
who's living a better life.
I'm thinking
the bikers.
Golf is probably going to be better for me than the bike, because I tried that biker thing and then I sold my Harley because it freaked me out. I guess you could blame it on Tim because he took me places that scared me the heck out of my skin riding as a new biker, but
I don't know about that.
I just didn't like it. Maybe I need the 3-wheeled recumbent.
Yes.
car.
No. You need the 3-wheeled Can-Am with the 2 wheels up front and the 1 wheel in the back, and you sit on it like a motorcycle. It's like a
snowmobile.
It's a snowmobile for the highway.
Yes.
And it's not a retarded 3-wheeled car, which
so that's all we need is for me to spend money on. I guess those are both expensive hobbies when you think about it. Golfing is not cheap, and neither is motorcycles.
Oh, the golfing's way more expensive. Like there's not even a comparison.
Yeah,
Like
I guess you get your motorcycle and you're one and done.
You're pretty much done. No, the golfing, but that's fine. Whatever. I mean, whatever brings you joy. I think we've kicked this absolutely to death.
And now you all can see that it's time for me to put the paddles up. And you all got a taste of how the conversations go at home. If you've not listened to us before and you're just tuning in and you're wondering what the heck is going on, this is Doctales with Cocktails. I have been enjoying a nice glass of wine this evening. Some special red blend from the local grocery store for $13. Don't ask me what it is. And Tim's cough syrup is...
I'm basically drinking cough syrup.
The flavor du jour of...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what.
It's tart cherry juice. Because
you're drinking tart cherry juice?
Well,
to
it's not
stop
alone.
Your aches and pains and ails.
Dude, my back is so sore.
And it's going to cure your gout.
There you go. I did so much walking, which was great. And then I had a massive kiteboard session yesterday, which was also amazing. And I woke up this morning to go to the bathroom at 4 a.m. and I'm like,
you needed a Hoyer lift.
I'm gonna need a Hoyer lift and a freaking wheelchair to go. I'm gonna be that guy that's like 65 years old and has the little like bedside, pee thing because I can't get out of bed. It's okay. I'm going till I can't go. That's my goal. Go till you can't go.
That's you.
And then go some more.
And then what are you going to do when you can't go? We'll see.
There'll be something else to do.
There'll be something else.
Puzzles. Extreme puzzles.
Macaroni
puzzles
art.
That if you don't get them right, they kill you, right? Like that would be cool. Well, if I can't find the corner to this, it releases some, sarin gas.
Oh, there's always laundry and vacuuming and cleaning the bathroom. No.
Negative.
You're not going to do that. No. I didn't think so.
All
right, everybody. We have an amazing show that's coming out tomorrow, which is Thursday.
Thursday the 13th.
If you're listening to this
Holy moly.
I'm just going to say it. It's Dr. Pierre Corey. What a great conversation we had with him today. And he's kind of a close by neighbor. So that's exciting.
But it wasn't just a great conversation. It was like, this is a really cool, super chill guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've talked to virtually everybody in the whole COVID dissonant world and listen to his story. He goes from, I'm the most blue-pilled, read the, New York Times every single day.
Listens to NPR.
Straight line,
the journals,
liberal doctor in Wisconsin to the most red-pilled, holy shit, we're being taken over by crazy people. Because he just kept his eyes open and asked questions. It was like that means
just thought. He used his brain and thought like most people in medical school should do.
Independently thought for himself. It's amazing. Like it is, and he's super nice about it. Like he's probably 100 times less obnoxious than me, which I don't know. Everybody is.
I was gonna say something. I will just keep my lips sealed.
No, it was listen to it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a really great time. I have even more respect for him now than I did before, having met him and spoken with him. I mean, straight shooter. It's just really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. So we're so blessed to have him on the show. Check it out. Share it with some friends. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe. Leave us some comments and I don't know, share it with some friends. Send us some money. Find us some sponsors. We're always open.
So, we should probably open a Patreon account or whatever. So if people want to donate, they can. But whatever, it's all good. We love doing this. We'll keep doing it as long as we possibly can.
We had a donate button on our webpage for a while too, where or something like that. But anyway, if you really want to send money, it's not hard. All you got to do is ask. All right, everybody, stay BS free. Until next time.
Adios.